Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's good to be back here with you. I hope so far your week is going on very well. You see, we started not too long ago. We entered January, and all too soon, we are now almost about ending the October, the 10th month. 2 more months to go, and then 2024 will be here staring at us. So far, how has your year been? Today, we are here to talk about this year, what we have achieved, what we wanted to achieve, to give account of how the year has been so far, and then to look forward to 2024, to plan ahead. This is the right time or the best time to start planning for 2024. We don't need to wait until the last day, 31st December, where we go searching, screaming around, expecting 2024 to be a great year. This is the time to start, thinking about what we want to achieve. And also in our transformation journey. Okay. Now, without wasting much time, as usual, we have our agent of transformation here, Dr. Manson. I would like to welcome her. Hello, Doc. Good to have you back here.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you are doing well today and ready to give us more nuggets.
I'm well and blessed. I hope you are doing well too.
I'm very well, thank you. Okay, Doc. So today you want to talk to us, so you want us to talk about the year so far and also to look forward to 2024. So why now? Why not wait till 31st as usual? Why are we starting early this time?
Well, I think you have already even answered that. When you wait till you get into the year, then you're already too late because the year has started. So even if you plan on first, you've lost one day of the year. But then if you start early, then you'll be able to put in the right measures. Okay, so that's why I think this is a good time to retreat, to start taking stock of the current year, and then we know where we went well that we can build on, where we faltered that we can put in the right measures, so that even by the time the year comes, then we are prepared for the first day to start running. So it doesn't become like a 9-day one. That is usually the practice. We wait till 31st and then we are emotional, we make emotional resolutions. No, we are planning. So we need to be level-headed. We don't need to wait to be caught on by the emotions of the ending year. So that is why I think that this is a good time to take stock and then start planning for the new year.
Okay, thank you. So in which areas should we actually focus on in taking stock and then planning for the year ahead? Which areas of our life should we look at?
Okay, so before we get to the areas, I would like to take us back from where we started. The beginning of the year, I always said, with these things, the first thing you need is a pen and a book.
I've got
I believe
mine
most
here.
of us had it. Great, good stuff. So that is why I'll be coming to you. So before you even come to the area, you know the areas that you targeted. So that is where you are doing the review from, the plans that you had as you listed them, because the priorities are different for everybody.
Yeah.
I maybe would want to look at my finances. Someone would want to target their health. Yeah. So I think that it all depends on you, the individual. So it starts with your book and your pen. So you go back to where you started, the things you listed for this year. So since you have got yours there, I would want us to start with you. Something that you listed for the year that you would want to share with us. And then we'll break it down, see if you were able to achieve it. If you were, how you went about it. If you were not, what do you think? We would dissect it and see what can be done to improve it. So as we take our pens and our papers, there's one thing I also want us to think about. Sometimes the successes that we enjoy are as a matter of chance. So you see, it is very difficult for them to become sustainable. because they were a matter of chance, they happen just once.
Yeah.
We can't repeat it. And that doesn't help our growth. It doesn't help our transformational journey. Okay, so we've got to be intentional about things that happen. So for the things that we were able to do, you ask yourself, can you repeat it in the following year? If not, then it means it's taking you to the side of chance. Then you now need to look at ways that you can form of institutionalize it so that it can be repeated. It can be something that you can pass on. I know the essence of life with all this transformational journey and all that we are on is to improve our lives, first of all. And then secondly, to make others also better. So it doesn't just end with us. It doesn't end with us improving ourselves. When we have been able to improve ourselves, we also seek to impact others. So when you have these methods, but then if your success is just to pass on to others, so that is why we need to be intentional about these things and ensure that there are ways that can be repeated. All right.
Wow. Okay. So it looks like I have already shot myself in the leg.
Yeah, so now we wait. Which of the things you listed would you want to share with us? So we'll take a look. And then I believe that each of our viewers would also do that. We'll get our books and then we'll review the things that, or maybe once you put yourself together, let me start. So I don't put you so much on the spot. Let me start with, so for 2023, one of the major things I wanted to do, I wanted to target my health. So I wanted to take good care of my health. In some aspects, I did. Getting the right medical help, I know, getting vitamin supplements, I did that. But one aspect that I really didn't do well, I wanted to hit the gym this year. So it's one that's, for me, so far, it hasn't gone well. And I'm using the word so far because I haven't given up. The year hasn't ended.
Yeah.
So there is still time, yes. So no matter where you are, don't give up. It's not like you couldn't. So I'm using the word so far. So it means that there is still hope.
Room, yeah.
So I couldn't hit, so far I have not been able to hit the gym.
Wow.
So I was thinking about it. And you know what? I realized that I didn't really plan well. Though I noted it was something I really wanted to do, something I was really passionate about. But just the last week I was thinking, I didn't even bother to find out the gym facilities that are close by. I don't know any gym facility that is close to me. So if I had planned well,
yeah,
it's one of the things you first of all find those that are close by. You assess their facilities to see if they've got what you are interested in. You look at the times that they open. So these are things that you do prior to the time that you even want to start that. But then I noticed that I didn't do all that. All those things were lacking. So it became difficult, to hit that dream. So for me, it is failing to plan well in that respect that did not help me to achieve that goal of hitting the gym, or that has not helped me achieve it so far. So now that I have become conscious of it, is the thing that I want to do in the coming week. Try and identify which gym facilities are close to me, and then I'll assess and see how best I can assess them, and then possibly start with that. I have not given up. So for the next 2 months before the year ends, I want to try to redeem myself. See how best. So like I was saying, maybe you are like me. There is something that some of us even also started some things and then we realized that, we went back, we relapsed, we haven't been able to sustain it. Don't give up. You look at the Bible will tell you that identify where you fell from. So where you started slacking, if you're able to identify it, then you know how to put measures in to overcome those things. Some of us got too busy. Then it means we need to plan our day well. We need to schedule properly. So if you're able to identify those things, then you can plan well and know how best to move on. So having said that and having said the ball rolling, Akusia, I guess it's your turn now. So let's hear from you.
Okay, so, well, for me, I had different goals for different areas of my life, but I want to talk about family. This year I wanted to have more family time. And the ways I wanted to do that was maybe having dinner together or having lunch together. And I was, to some extent, I was able to do that, but not as much as I wanted. What I think was a hindrance was time management. I couldn't manage my time properly because sometimes the time that the boys are ready to eat is the time that maybe I have to do something that maybe I could or should have done earlier. And so I have to leave them to eat alone whilst I take care of the other thing. If I had organized myself properly, perhaps I would be able to do things in a way that by the time dinner is set, we are all ready to be at table to eat together. So, as you said, we still have 2 months. So maybe I have to find other ways of managing my time properly. Maybe in a day I can have a schedule. Maybe at this time I should do this, and then by 6 p.m. I should be done with everything that has to be done, and have that little family time, you know. Yeah. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that I wanted to do was to improve upon my Italian language. And to that, I think much hasn't been done so far. I mean, from the beginning of the year, I realized much hasn't been done. Maybe I should have gone out more to interact more with people. And how I have tried to correct that recently is enrolling in a school. And so for now, I am working towards that. Hopefully by the end of the year, I should have gotten to the level that I wanted to be at the beginning of the year. Yeah, so.
Great. That's great to hear. Great stuff there. And I think you need to pat yourself on the shoulder. And listening to you, one thing that's also coming to my mind is that sometimes maybe we need to learn to take baby steps. I think sometimes too that is a thing. So that if your targets are not too high, then the little you are able to achieve, you accept it. Especially when children are young. As a mother, it is challenging. So maybe having the goal of having dinner together, looking at where you are coming from, having dinner together every day is the main target, but we need to start from somewhere. So we've tried that and that is not working. So what if, let's break it down at least 3 times a week. And then if you're able to do the 3 times a week, like you said, you plan well, you do 3 times, then you feel you've achieved something. Unlike having it every day, then I'm sure sometimes you do 3 times, but because you want it every day, you get 3, you are disappointed. And then that dampens your spirit. But then if my target is 3 times a week and consistently be able to do that, then you'll be able to build up as well. Okay, you see, oh, I'm successful, then you are encouraged to move on to. So maybe that is another thing. Aside planning well, that is good, but also try to take it slowly. It's a huge task. Yeah, having young children and managing time, sometimes it always doesn't go as you want it. But then if you set the targets small, gradually, then you build up.
Yeah.
And congrats with your enrollment in the school. That's a huge one. Yeah. Proud
Thank
of
you. And one thing that both of us haven't also talked about, it's also being here with our fellow transformers, being live here with them. Yeah, because initially we used to record and post, but now we are here with them. And so that's also something huge worth celebrating.
Yeah. And even on that, there were times that because of different schedules, we couldn't record. There were some lapses, but it's great that we never gave up in spite of all those things. Sometimes we meet and then even internet challenges.
Yeah.
We try doing it and then we have to do it a few times. But in all that, we never give up. Because we didn't give up, we are still here. And it applies to our individual lives. The fact that you want to do something, the fact that you have a plan doesn't mean that you will not have challenges. But the key is that in spite of those challenges, you still persist. You still get back to your feet like a toddler learning to walk. When you fumble and fall, you rise back and then you keep moving. That is how you improve, and that is how you achieve the target that you are working towards.
Okay, so now going forward, replanning or maybe planning for next year.
Mm-hmm. So it starts from where we are now, from our targets for this year. There are some of the targets you realize they are just for the year. Once they are achieved, you are ready to move on, build on. That is fine. See where you can move on. But there are some that are recurrent. So they will still move on from this year into next year. And it's the same basic idea as we apply this year. You list it down and then you try to break it down. Some of them you break it down into quarters. So for each quarter, there should be a target that you, or a milestone that you want to hit. So once you have that, then there should be steps that you need to put in place to achieve them. So for all those things, what do I need to do? Like I was listing my gym thing, for example. You need to identify where the gyms are. You need to visit them, see the times they open, see the facilities, the things they do. Are those things I want to do? See how they align. So you put in the steps that will get you there. And as you break it down in that way, it becomes easier. Otherwise, it is there huge. I want to go to gym. Sometimes it's a bit overwhelming, not knowing where to start from. But then if you do that homework before it is actually time, you take your time to break it down and do all that it requires.
Yeah. Doc, I think we have some internet.
You see, when the time is up, you know where you are starting from. You know, from here, I'm going here. And apart from even assessing am I going straight to lifting weights? Am I going to start on the treadmill? And so that when it's time, then you know I'm going here, from here, I'll move here. It makes the work, getting the work done too, a lot easier for us. Yeah.
Okay. So it's all about planning. It's all about planning and then looking around the things that you can do so that whatever you want to achieve doesn't look overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think you have already answered my question because I wanted to ask, after planning, then what next? How do you make whatever you want to do practical? I think that's when you have to break everything down.
Yes. Yes. So you break it down and then you allocate dates and times. So after breaking it down, you know, maybe if it's quarter or if it's monthly, I'm starting this at this time. In the first quarter, maybe let me still use my gym example. When I start first quarter of 2024, I am doing cardio. So then I know this, I'm doing this cardio thing. So these are the machines I'll be working on. Second quarter, maybe I'll be building my apps. So these are the machines that are required. So when you add the times to it, helps so that you break it down and then you know when to do what. So that is the, to me, I think is the best way.
It's the best. Okay, so I know that there are so many people who, in their mind, ideally, they would like to have this kind of thing, have a plan, and then follow through everything till the end of the year. Usually, they are able to start from January, February, and then March, you see them backsliding gradually. By the time we get to June, back to reset. So what do you think is the cause of this thing?
Life, because sometimes, life is unpredictable. So some things that we don't foresee happen, but that is why it's good to have a plan, so that if something I don't foresee happens, I know if I was supposed to do this in March, thereabout, it didn't happen, but I come to myself, I become aware in June, I have a plan for June, then I can go to that plan. Or if I decide to repeat the March plan, then at least I know where to go. Okay. But then if we plan to, it's good. We need to also bring about, look ahead into the possible challenges that we can face. Yes, and then factor those ones too. And especially if you are evaluating the year well, knowing the challenges you faced in the previous year, then that will also help you to plan with those challenges in mind and have contingencies in case they do happen for the following year.
Oh. Okay, so It all boils down to planning, having a good plan, and then going back to check on that to see that this is where I wanted to go. So if I have lost my path, or if I'm deviating, I have to drag myself back to the path and then continue to stay focused until I get to my destination.
Yeah.
Okay, viewers, thank you so
sure
much.
Is.
It was so great coming back here to share with you. Doc, if you have any final words, I would let you share with us.
Okay, so my last thing I want to say is that it's not over until it's over. So it doesn't matter what you've achieved this year, what you haven't been able to achieve, don't give up. We still got a number of days in the year, you can still rise and do something. So find from where you fell and see how you can get back on track. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doc. It's always great to have you here sharing with us. And thank you so much, viewers. I hope you've taken notes of everything that has been said. Plan, even before planning, remember that we still have about a month or so for this year. Whatever you wanted to do, don't give up. Keep pushing. You can still achieve that. Thank you and see you next week.